What's up? Look at my bike. I'm going to give you an overview of my bike and all the customizations I've done and give you some ideas for things you can do to your bike. Please keep in mind the prices of all these things can vary, but I'm going to list them in ascending order for what I paid for them. First off, this bike used to be red, but when I bought it, I had a paint job included in the price. I had it painted black and the spring painted blue. If you were to take your bike to a service, this is an expensive customization, easily north of $200. I'd advise, if at all possible, that you purchase a bike that's already the color you want. The windscreen used to be twice as tall and completely transparent. I painted the inside black and cut off the top half. This levels out the top of the bike and makes the profile look more like a super sport. These are the remotes to my LEDs and helmet cam. Most people put these on their keychains, but I find it harder to get to them while I'm driving, so I put them on my handlebar, which is great because they're next to all the other controls. Plasti is a rubber type adhesive that's applied in several layers from a spray can, and it's an easy way to add another color without it being permanent. Usually this is used to paint on car bras, but I painted the frame to make it look more like the 2011 model of this bike, which comes stock with a black frame. As you can see, it's peeling off all over the place, but it has been there for about a year, and it's super cheap. I'd say everybody should have a tank pad, but it really depends on if you like the look of one or not. They protect tanks from scratches, but I got this one because I like the design and color. Normally these are about 20 bucks. Wheel stripes. Inexpensive and a great addition to any sport bike. I highly recommend these for anyone. Very easy, pretty cheap. Changing these running lights took less than 5 minutes. I removed the stock mirrors and replaced them with mirror block-off plates and bought a pair of bar end mirrors. These are universal, super cheap bar end mirrors that I bought for 20 bucks. I would advise you buy a nicer pair if you want your bar end mirrors, because this is the third pair of these that I've bought. They're cheap and they fall apart easily. There are lots of things you can do for your bike to make it stand out, but having custom decals makes it different from all others. This is the logo of my favorite band, Red, and it's what I named the bike. The GPS is something that I personally love having on my bike. It's really neat knowing what roads are coming up ahead and having a way to plot quick routes. Not to mention, being a nerd, having another display just looks cool. LED strips. This is in my top 3 for must-haves for your bike. They're not outrageously expensive and they make your bike look so much cooler. Please check with your state municipal code before buying them, because some colors are illegal depending on what state you're in. In Kansas, they can't be any shade of red or flashing, so I have steady on blue. This is a neat little thing, the sequential integrated turn signal and brake light. This replaces the regular red reflective brake light and fills in for the turn signals that I took off. It really tightens up the back end and it looks cool. Lots of sport bike riders end up removing the big, ugly mud flap on the back of their bike and they get a Fender Eliminator kit. Mine came with turn signals, but I didn't need them because of the integrated ones in my brake light. I did end up using the license plate frame and light, and if you don't want a stupid piece of plastic hanging off your ride, you might want to look into a Fender Eliminator kit. If I had to choose only one change for this bike, it would be the sport bars. This changes the feel and look of the bike and it makes it more comfortable for me. I'm a tall guy, so having room in my arms makes it easier for me to ride and adds an aggressive look for the rider. I got these cheap, but sport bars usually cost more than $150. Every bike should have frame sliders. I don't know why they don't come standard. They're absolutely necessary. If your bike doesn't have these, get them. I found out the hard way and laid it down before I put the frame sliders in, and ended up paying $100 to repair it when I could have put that money toward the frame sliders in the first place. Get a high quality set with no cut, meaning you don't have to cut into your fairings to make them fit. If possible, get a set that has a frame bar that goes through the bike, giving it much more strength. They're absolutely worth it. Normally these would cost more than $250, but since I bought them from China, they were cheap. I did the installation myself, and you could pay a service to do it, but it's not cheap. I was really conflicted on doing this because of the cost, but if you have the time and money, this is a great customization that really adds. The most expensive and final customization was the slip-on exhaust. Normally these are easily $500, and as far as I know, they really only change the sound of the bike. Not worth it if you ask me, but since I found a fairly cheap one, and I was tired of the sound of my stock exhaust and everything else, I went ahead and bought it. I really like it, but if I had to pay $500, I wouldn't have gotten it. Now you know my ride. Hopefully this gives you some ideas and some insight into what you can do for your bike. If you like sport bikes, vlogging, and dorks doing dumb things, go ahead and subscribe and check Mondays for Moto Monday. Just do it.
Perfect, but it's
It is meant to be, so I'm gonna get this video done. After looking over the edge like this, dun, 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 dun. It's okay to look over the edge like this because I'm wearing a helmet. WALTERRIFIC!